Hello YouTube, welcome back to my channel, of course, which is Mansell Media Corner, and today's video is not a tagged video response, but it's my own views on films. And the reason why I said tag response, there is lately been another tag video going around in the film community, which is film recommendations. I think it's top 5 or top 10, but these are some of my films in my collection, what people should have in their collection. And to start off with, 1993, the phenomenal Jurassic Park, directed by Steven Spielberg, starring Sam Neill, Jeff Goldblum, Laura Dern, Richard Attenborough, and Samuel L. Jackson. And if you haven't checked out my good friend Jamie Powell's latest top 10 ranking, I think this was number 2 in his Steven Spielberg's films, and yeah, it's easily in my top 10. So yeah, it's not Jurassic Park from 1993. Then we have a great box set, and it's Superman, the 5-film collection. Apart from 4, which is Quest for Peace, you've got the original Superman, Superman 2, and Superman 3, which a lot of people do not like. I absolutely like Superman 3, but this has got tons and tons of special features. It's also got Superman Returns with Brandon Routh and Kevin Spacey, but the original Superman was Christopher Reeve and Gene Hackman as Lex Luthor, and the late great Tone Stamp as General Zod. But this has also got the first Superman black and white film with George Reeves on the first disc. Then a bit of a documentary film released by Studio Canal. This is the vintage classic range. It's only got to be Sid and Nancy, based on Sid Vicious and Nancy Spurgeon, I think her name was. But Gary Oldman plays Sid Vicious. Chloe Webb plays Nancy Spurgeon. And this is directed by Alan Cox, which is C-O-X. So yeah, that's Sid and Nancy from 1986. Then gotta have a bit of classic 80s comedy, of course, which is the iconic Police Academy. And this has got Mission to Moscow, I think, from early 90s, which I've never seen, but this has got the first 6 Police Academy films, which are great, full of pop culture references, especially Steve Guttenberg. So yeah, that's Police Academy, the complete collection. Here's the back. There being a computer game fan, you gotta have Uncharted with Tom Holland playing Nathan Drake, Mark Wahlberg playing, I think his name was Sully, I believe. You've got Antonio Banderas as the villain. But yeah, this is kind of based on the first three, or the first two Uncharted films. So yeah, that's Uncharted. And if I remember at the time, there's a bit of controversy because everybody wanted Bradley Cooper to play Nathan Drake. I think Tom Holland's a really good second place, personally, as a game, as a fan of the franchise. So yeah, that's Uncharted. And a bit of John Hurt from 1975 by my good friend Jim Jam Movies and TV James. If you're watching, hope you're well, pal. And yeah, this is A Naked Civil Servant by Quentin Crisp, who John Hurt plays beautifully in this one. We've also got Roger Lloyd Packer as Trigger in Only Fools and Horses, and Phil Daniels in The Blink and You Miss It at the very end. But this is all about Quentin Crisp's best-selling autobiography. It's directed by Jack Gold. And one of my favourite films of the 80s. But what a heartbreaking film though, from beginning to end. The Elephant Man with Anthony Hopkins and John Hurt playing John Merrick. But you've also got the likes of the late great Sir John Gielgud, Wendy Hiller and Anne Bancroft, and Michael Elphick and Pauline Collins. So yeah, for 1980, directed by the late great David Lynch. This is The Elephant Man. And another one of the vintage classics from 1955. I haven't seen this film yet, but I've heard really good things. But what a cast. You got the likes of Sir Alec Guinness, Cecil Parker, Herbert Lom, Peter Sellers, Jack Warner and Frankie Howard. This is by Ealing Studios, and it's got a really cool documentary from the late 1990s about the Ealing Studios. But if you've never seen that documentary, it's really insightful, but nowadays very, very sad. I mean, especially the talking heads like Sir John Mills, the late great Sir Richard Attenborough. So yeah, for 1955 is The Lady Killers. And this is my favourite film of 1980. And it is Star Wars The Empire Strikes Back. I think this is directed by Irving Kershner. Or it's something to do with that, but what an awesome film this is. Again, if you haven't seen this, I highly recommend this film from start to finish. Such an awesome film. Of course, the iconic Vader versus Luke Skywalker lightsaber fight. Then we have a comedy for 1988. It's Bill and Ted's Excellent Adventure with Alex Winter and Keanu Reeves. This is by Studio Canal on a vintage, Studio Canal. It's Bill and Ted's Excellent Adventure. Of course, can't go wrong with a bit of Michael J. Fox and Christopher Lloyd, and this is Back to the Future, the ultimate trilogy. And yeah, this one's got tons of special features on all 3 discs. Plus also on this one disc, it's got like rare footage before Michael J. Fox. Got cast as Marty McFly, but with various actors like Billy Zane, etc. So yeah, that's Back to the Future, the ultimate trilogy. And a bit of a musical now, with the late great Barbara Windsor. It's also got James Booth, who was in Zulu. This is directed by John Littlewood, and it's Sparrows Can't Sing from 1963. But what a great supporting cast. You got the likes of Roy Kinnear, Eutha Joyce and Brian Murphy, which was later in George and Mildred. You've got Bob Clark and Stephen Lewis, of course, which was on the buses. So this Sparrows Can't Sing. And then I love my superheroes, but with Superman, he's also an iconic superhero, which is Batman, the full film collection from 1989 to, yes, 1997. But this again has got over 18 hours of must-see extras. So yeah, that's Batman, the full film collection. And a couple of Marvel, and this is Thor Ragnarok with Chris Hemsworth as Thor, Claire Danes as Hela, of course Tom Hiddleston as Loki, and Idris Elba as Heimdall, and Tessa Thompson as Valkyrie, I think it is. You got Anthony Hopkins as Odin. So yeah, really, really good superhero film from, I think it was 2017 or 2018. But yeah, that's Thor Ragnarok. Way back in the 60s now, it is Whatever Happened to Baby Jane with the late great Betty Davis and Joan Crawford. And this is directed by Robert Aldrich, But yeah, what an awesome kind of drama stroke horror in a sense, especially behind the scenes, the drama, but what an awesome film this is. So that's Whatever Happened to Baby Jane. And a couple of our own, this is directed by Brian De Palma. It's The Great Carrie from 1976, I think. But another great cast you've got. Sissy Spacek as Carrie, John Travolta in one of his first big roles, and Piper Laurie. This is based on a novel by Stephen King. Screenplays by Lawrence D. Cohen. So yeah, 1976, directed by Brian De Palma. It's Carrie. Then the last of the Marvel, and it is Captain America the Winter Soldier with Chris Evans as Captain America, Scarlett Johansson as Black Widow, and you've also got the Falcon in this one and the Winter Soldier. But what an awesome film this is. Again, I highly recommend it if you're into Marvel films. And the last of the superhero films is Zack Snyder's Justice League. This is the full 4 hour, I think it was, but on 2 discs plus special features. But again, this is way better than the original Justice League, what came out in 2018, I'm going to say. But yeah, you've got the appearance of Darkseid in this one. But yeah, you've also got a bit of a spoiler black costumed Superman as well. So that's Zack Snyder's Justice League. And then I think this was a TV show, but this was Cursed Films. This is like a behind the scene story of why certain films got cursed. The likes of Poltergeist, The Omen, The Exorcist, The Crow, and the controversial Twilight Zone, the movie. But yeah, again, if you like your documentaries, I highly recommend this one. It's one of the interesting ones. And you've got the late great Richard Donner, who directed Superman 1 and 2. So yeah, that's Cursed Films. And to coincide with TV, you've got to have a bit of a horror icon. It's Vincent Price. And this is Cooking Price-Wise from 1971. Where it's just Vincent Price cooking, but some of the stuff he cooks nowadays is just really cool. So yeah, again, this is by BFI. There is the late great Vincent Price, but really good, really interesting a television show. Yeah, and under the BFI label. Again, a classic comedy from the 80s, 1982 to be precise, but you've got the likes of Judge Reinhold, Phoebe Cates, Sean Penn, Anthony Edwards, Jennifer Jason Leigh, and the guy in the ginger hair was in a film called Mask with Shares. But yeah, this is Fast Times at Ridgemont High. Then we have Beetlejuice, of course, directed by the great Tim Burton, with Michael Keaton, Gina Davis, and Alec Baldwin, I think it is. So yeah, also Beetlejuice is included on the list. Then I Know Kermit's Ghost, Mr. Alan himself, Alan Kermit's Ghost himself, loathes this film. I like this film, and what an awesome soundtrack. What a cast. Got Max von Sydow as Ming the Merciless, Sam Jones as Flash Gordon. You've got Brian Blessed as Prince Voltron, Timothy Dalton's in this one, and Melody Anderson. But what an awesome soundtrack by the legend that is, what a legendary band that is Queen. So yeah, for 1980, I think it was, or 81, it's Flash Gordon. Next, I Know Jamie Powell, I think, put this in his number 2, where that was on about his favourite actor, of course, which is Jim Carrey. And I think Andy over Forgotten Movies, The World of Forgotten Movies, pardon, put this in. Yeah, this is the Arrow Blu-ray box set of The Mask for 1994, directed by Chuck Russell, I believe. So yeah, that's The Mask with old Jim Carrey, which I may do a film review of. Again, big shout out to my good friend Jim Jam Movies and TV. This is his favourite film of all time, apart from one scene. If you know, you know. But what an awesome film. Otherwise, you've got the likes of Deep Roy in there, and Alan Oppenheimer, who's on excellent form voicing Rock Beta and Falcor. Oh yeah, 1984, directed by Wolfgang Peterson. So that is the never-ending story. And the last one, excuse me. Directed by Kevin Reynolds. This is Robin Hood, Prince of Thieves. Musical scores by Michael Kamen. You've got Christian Slater, pardon, Brian Blessed, Sean Connery, Alan Rickman, Kevin Costner and Morgan Freeman. So yeah, that is Robin Hood Prince of Thieves by the Arrow label released in the 1990s. So yeah, so they are some of my films I would recommend anyone owning. So don't forget to like, please, share and subscribe, and there will be some more videos, and definitely my Q&A video, possibly Monday, all being well. So yeah, there'll probably be some more film reviews. So like I said, don't forget to like, please, share and subscribe, and there will be some additional shout outs to the guys in the film community. Give the guys a sub. They are exceptional blue tubers in the film community who I consider friends and heroes. So yeah, so don't forget to like, please, share and subscribe, and see you on the next video. So goodbye, folks. Goodbye.